10, 9, 8, 7, 6, 5, 4, 3, 2, 1.
Well, good morning, good afternoon, good evening, and welcome. I shocked and stunned you all there with the shortness of the intro. No montages, no special lengthy whatever, so we can all scratch our ass back here while waiting. It's straight into it today, because today is the 2-year anniversary of this show. It's Only Talk and Roll. Not necessarily the 2-year anniversary of the channel, or indeed, I'd done some live streams before, but this show in a regular slot on a Monday. So I thought it was worth just, taking a pause, not having a special themed show, and just chewing the fat a bit, as we say in Scotland, and talk about some stuff. And hopefully a few people will drop in and say hello. So, but I should say welcome to my great friends who've been a huge part of what we've done here for the last 2 years. Joe and Imp Iritus. How are you guys?
Imp Iritus. I'm doing great. I'm a little hungover from last night. Super Bowl is my national holiday. I used to save all my vacation time for Saturdays and Sundays during January, so I wouldn't miss the playoffs. And I always took the Monday off after the Super Bowl because I knew I was going to be partying. So
nice tradition.
Enjoyed it.
Yeah, good stuff, mate. Good. Well, glad to see you here, and thanks again for all your being part of this team. This
oh man, dude, being part of this team has done wonders for me. So you're a big part of me getting over the 400 hump here a couple of days ago.
Of you. Yep. Good. Glad to hear it, mate. And how about you, Imperatus? How are you, sir?
Recovering from the weekend.
Yeah. Did you party hard?
Kind of.
Okay. Go out anywhere?
Yeah, I was down visiting some friends
right.
for the weekend, and still full from all the food and mildly hungover still.
Just mildly, though.
Yeah, Saturday was worse.
Well, I'm glad you could make it, and thanks again to you for being part of this great team, brother. It's been a lot of fun. There was a lot of people invited today, so we'll see if people turn up. If they don't turn up, great. They've all contributed in the thumbnails for I tried to put as many people in as have contributed to this show in the last 2 years. My software package ran out of it. It said you can put no more images on this screen, so I ran out of space. So if I missed somebody, my deepest apologies. But the most important people have been those who've actually taken their time to tune in and watch these shows. So I would like to thank you all from the bottom of my heart for your continued support. We've had 2 years of great fun. Thank you. I love you all. It's just, it staggers me that you guys want to turn up and spend your valuable time hanging out with me and with us. But I do appreciate it. And I think we've had some good laughs, and we've had some great shows in the last 2 years. So just to say hello to anyone that's here by name already. We have the great Lord Thoth, the great Davina, Keely Chow. It is good to see you, Keely. Sumo Orange, welcome to you. Great to see you. The great FKHC 2005.
Or as they call him, Tim.
Oh, Tim. Yes, who was asking me to drink my Ovaltine. Apparently, which is something that I've never drank. I don't like that stuff. Who else have we got here? Anima Confusa, good to see you. We have Vince Womack. Great to see you, Vince. Thank you for being here. I think I mentioned Keely is here. Southern Viking, great to see you. There will be many others, and so forgive me if I miss anybody, and hopefully we will catch you later. The great D. Bud Martin, Super Wrench, Papa Cotton is here. Always good to see you, buddy. There will be many others, as we say, and I'm
Christian
sure
Zorn just showed up.
Christian, our great friend Christian. Henry Gambles is here. Good name, sir. And if that's your music era taste, I agree. Despite being born in 01, now 60-year-old father introduced me to 60s, 70s, and 80s music. I could be your father. It's horrible to say, but I could. Good to see you,
his
Henry.
dad did a good job, apparently.
Good to see you, Henry. I've got my rainbow T-shirt on today. Richie Blackmore's rainbow. It's my kind of stuff. Good by Nature is here. Good to see you. Welcome, everybody. Christian, dear friend. Bonjour to you. D-Bud Martin, $5 Canadian or American dollars, actually, could be. It's American dollars. I just wonder if it shows it in Canadian or American. I don't know. Happy anniversary. Don't spend this all on haggis and bourbon. Unlikely I'll be spending it on haggis. Bourbon? Very possibly, though. Very possibly. So let's play something special for you. How about this? Because I feel particularly blessed with gifts today.
Would you say I have a plethora of piñatas?
A what?
A plethora.
Oh my God.
So thank you, D-Bud Martin, and thank you for everything you do and all the shows that I do, all the modding and the other mods too, of course. Yes, Henry's saying Rainbow is one of his personal favorites. Cool. So
is that an album cover?
That is the cover for the Down to Earth album. And of course, one of the great shows we did was with Graham Bonnet, who sang on this album and was a guest, was very gracious, came on and hung out with us for 2 hours. Check that show out. We had Graham Bonnet on. It was absolutely magnificent. Wonderful chap, as was his partner.
I'll tell you what, man, my favorite album they did was Straight Between the Eyes. That's my favorite one.
You see, I'm the opposite. I kind of started to go off them then.
Yeah.
I was never a Joel and Turner era guy. They went too pop then.
I hear you.
But Down to Earth, and because I got into Rainbow early on, I was a huge fan of the first 3 albums. So, but just with Ronnie, the great Ronnie James Dio, who we've had a couple of shows on.
Yep.
So yeah, we've done music shows. We've done the Canon Film Club, which is becoming a huge success. I mean, we're getting thousands of views on those and big crowds on them, and some great guests. Razor Fist has been on, obviously Austin.
Austin
Trunick.
Wow, what a great guy.
He wrote the Canon Film Guides, and obviously Tom Connors has been a big part of that and suggested it in the first place, in fact. And we've had the Cult Comedy Crew shows now, which are also doing really well. Some of these have been the most successful ones. We've had a lot of great music ones, but when I look back on them, I think, look at all the stuff we haven't done yet.
Yeah, you got a lot. Well, I mean, when it comes to music, you could make those never cover everything. You can.
I mean, I'm an enormous Beatles fan, but other than some one-off shows about Beatles stuff I've done with Tom and Paul Chato and others, I haven't done a Beatles episode of This Monday Show. I haven't done a Stones one. We've done one Who one with Legalized Adulthood, who came on as a really good guest.
Right.
We're going to probably do a second one, but there's so much we haven't touched, So, and we all like to be touched.
Of course we do.
So, our great friend Christian Delorme, $5 Canadian. I did say CA in the front of that one, you see. Christian Delorme's Vinyl Revival. We do nice little shows on Christian's channel as well. Yep. Sorry I could not join you tonight. Congrats on 2 solid years of constant streaming. That's what my doctor said. Just to show hard work pays off and no bourbon, Scotch only. Well, yeah, you know what video you're going to get.
Oh, man, look at
Christian. Thank you, Christian. We should bring in another one of our vital, regular panelists. My great brother, Pope Metallicus. How are you, mate?
How's it going, guys? Man, it's been 2 years. I can't believe that we've been doing this that whole time too.
It is unbelievable how fast that went and how many shows we've done. I would love to have done a montage of clips from them, but there's hundreds of hours of stuff.
Oh my God!
I don't know where to begin.
Good luck.
I do want to show some of the montages that I used to open the shows, though, because I've really been quite proud of those, and they're a big feature of the show for me.
Oh yeah.
And some of them have been really good. I felt, like really did justice to those acts and those bands. So
Right.
we'll play a few of those during the show. But yeah, how are you doing, Pope? What's up with you, buddy?
Oh, not much. Sorry, I'm a little late. I've been having a couple medical issues recently, so I've had to been bouncing around between doctors to take care of that. But
okay, have you
we're
been
getting
having
there
the strapedectomy?
yeah, pretty much.
I want to say hello, by the way. We are on Rumble, and we are live on Rumble. We're live on Twitter. I'm actually almost at 200 subs on Rumble, and I do some stuff on there that isn't on YouTube. So, but Vince and Joe are hanging out in that chat.
Yeah, we over there.
Oh, hang on, I got to switch the volume off there. There we go. Smilex is here. Good to see you. Masgrave, good to see you as well. Soul Assassin. Yes, such great people have been on these. So yeah, 2 years of these regular shows. The YouTube channel is now up to 1,370 subscribers.
There you go.
438 videos, as it says there. I did the stats: 155,000 views and 12,000 watch hours on all that stuff.
Wow,
so
that's good.
Thank you, everybody, for doing that. Yeah, we've had, just to talk about the channel in general, we've had all these great music shows. We've had the Canon Film Club stuff, which is going really well. Started the Cult Comedy Crew stuff, which is also doing really well. Some of those have had some excellent views. I've got my Korean stuff, one or two of which have done okay. Underlooked Bands and Albums is another series I do, and I'm trying to work on one right now for the Yardbirds album from '66.
Oh yeah.
Yeah, lots of classic rock stuff, science fiction novels. I still knock one of those out occasionally. All the stuff we did with the Rock and Roll Rowdies, some great stuff there.
You're still doing stuff with them, aren't you?
Yeah, I'm not able to do the live shows with them as much on the Thursdays because of other things that are going on, but those guys are still dear to my heart, and we still hang out. But yeah, looking at the content, I know it's a little hard to see this, but I did do some streams as far back as May 4, 2001. But these, It's Only Talk and Roll, that one there, January the 10th, 2022 was the first one. I'd done some Beatles stuff before. I did a Mike Nesmith tribute, which has had 1,729 views to date. It was actually very off the cuff live show. In terms of views of the live stuff, we're getting things like the kind of movie stuff's getting in the thousands of viewers. We've had some great shows like the Zardoz one and the Cyborg one. And
that was the first one I did with you.
Yeah,
the Zardoz one. I made a meme of Gary in that outfit.
Yeah,
it was pretty funny. Yeah, I remember that.
All the great stuff we've done on Dio, Purple, Deep Purple. I did great Jeff Beck tribute. There's just such great stuff in there. We've had all the, as I say, we had Graham Bonnet. We've had a lot of, we had Kevin Harrington, Beatles roadie. We've had Willie Fife and Colin Hart, the Purple and Dio guys. It's just been such great fun. I mean, that first kind of movie special with Razor Fist has 4,500 plus views. For me, that's a lot, and I really deeply appreciate that, everybody. So, yeah, I think I can hear some music in the background.
Yeah,
oh, that's me. Never mind.
It's Pope's ice cream van going past.
That's it.
So just to, is there ever going to be a show about modern music?
Wow.
I might do something about Judas Priest's new album.
Yeah.
That's modern, isn't it?
Yeah, it's modern. Of course, you have to search it out to find it. You can hear it on the radio.
I mean, I'm not genre specific
about
in
anything on the radio today.
Yeah, in that I do like a lot of different stuff. I've got a lot of different genres. There's not very little going on in modern popular music.
Yeah, but I can't see you doing a Swiftie show. I just can't see you.
Absolutely not. That's that is completely against my.
I don't think we're going to get a big show about the weekend or anything like that. Yeah.
And I get it, Papa Cotton. modern metal scene's booming. That's what I've got Imp and Pope here for, to tell me
yeah.
what to do. So they're the modern metal guys for me. And Nick Visor comes on, of course, sometimes. So yeah, I get it. And in fact, Papa Cotton, you're welcome to come on anytime too and bring the material and talk about stuff, because I'd be open to listening to whatever you want to talk about. So anyway, $2 a Canadian, Christian DeLong. Well, now that Pope is here, something, the Bruins.
Oh, he's just jealous.
He is jealous.
So in that case, he has to get my second favorite Bill McClintock video.
He is still one of the most talented guys I've ever seen doing that stuff.
I never tire of those clips. Somebody was saying, oh yeah, FKHC2. So no BTS show then? Probably not, but I was thinking of doing a video about a Korean vocal group called Forstella, who are really, really good. And they've got an unusual guy who's a basso profundo. You don't get that many boy bands.
No.
So he sings the way down like this, you know, and he's only like 21 and his voice is like this deep, whatever. Brilliant singer.
Exactly
Who was it? I think it was the Oak
associate
Ridge
with pop
Boys
music.
were one of those guys that bands that harmonized, and they had a dude that was like,
yeah,
he was like a $105 and he was 6'4" and he had the most deep voice, you know.
Yeah.
It was crazy.
Yeah, this Korean act, they were kind of put together for a talent show, but they've got 4 really good voices. Forstella, I think they're called. And the guy that does the Basso Profundo does his own albums too, and he's just, you hear it and you think that guy's got to be like an old opera singer.
Right.
Like this 21-year-old kid.
There's no way. Right.
Basso Profundo. So Henry Gamble's, sorry, you were saying something, Pope.
Well, it's like that's something you almost never hear in pop music either. Like they always tend towards the higher end of the vocal spectrum, and you almost never hear them go down low, especially if they harmonize with anyone.
Yeah,
mainly because none of their balls have dropped yet.
That's right. This guy's now in the Koreans still have a draft in South Korea, so he's doing his army service right now. So I don't know.
I actually just heard a story about that the other day, and you guys will get a kick out of this one, being vets. This kid, like a 21-year-old kid from South Korea, didn't want to, have to do his military service because he didn't want to go, and pretended or took an IQ test to basically prove that he was not mentally competent to join the South Korean military, and he scored so low that he would not have been able to ask to take the test.
Oh, jeez.
Wow.
His IQ score was 53, which puts him down at like almost subhuman levels of intelligence.
All right.
So obviously the recruiter is like, yeah, whatever, pal. So now he's doing a year in jail and then has to do his army service.
Okay, so he overplayed his hand, basically.
Yeah, pretty much.
Or underplayed it. So we're speaking of
failed successfully.
Speaking of the Scorpions, one of the, as I say, I do love the montages. And one of the montages we did was for the show. We had a great show on the Scorpions, and this was the opening montage. So let's savor this one again. Yeah, I love that.
That's cool stuff, man.
Yeah, I love that making that montage. These actually take me at least a day to make because I gotta copyright check everything, trim it multiple times, then put it together. And that one was pretty damn good. It's
That's
still one of
pretty
my
cool.
favorite. Yeah, it's still one of my favorite live acts of
Did
all
you use
time.
the zoo in there anywhere? I don't think
Yeah, it opened with the zoo.
Did it? Okay.
Yeah.
That's why I missed it. Yeah, mental block.
I
Yeah.
can still hear music, Pope.
Oh,
It's me. It's not Pope.
it's you.
My phone's ringing.
Check you out.
I can't reach it from here, so it could be somebody trying it on the show.
Right.
Right. Don't go. Hey, you guys fill in. I'm gonna go and see who it was.
We'll vamp. Yeah.
All right.
I love the Scorpions, man. Those guys are awesome. They're a German band, right? Aren't they German?
Yeah.
Old school German band. I never really got too far into their early stuff until we did that show, and I actually did all the research on them. They're fantastic.
It's great stuff, man. My favorite songs they did.
Hits, like, Big City Night, The Zoo, Rock You Like a Hurricane, all that. It was good stuff, but I just never dug into it.
My favorite one out of all of them, I struggle between The Zoo and There's No One Like You. No One Like You is a fantastic song.
Dude, that main riff is just fucking Titanic.
Yeah,
I love it.
Yeah, it is. Mm-hmm. I mean, I like songs like that, kind of like the ones Foreigner do. They're not the stuff Foreigner does isn't as heavy, but it's about adult relationships,
Yeah.
And I really dig that one. That's my favorite one.
And I think some of my favorite live Scorpion stuff that I've seen was actually when they had Michael join Rudolph up on the stage. So you had both brothers playing,
mm-hmm.
and two better guitar players from Germany you will never ever find.
Well, all I know is they rock the house. That's all I know about.
I like that black and white flying V, by the way, in the end there.
Yeah, they both have one too.
Yeah. But yeah, it's an example of some of them. I mean, I'd love to play them all, but they're all in a playlist on the channel. If anyone hasn't seen any of them, and we'll play a couple more later. But I actually wanted to do something quite fun. Sometimes we have little fun things, and I do little fun videos. But I had this idea, and it didn't turn into a video, so I'll do it now. So it's about the influence of the flat cap on rock and roll. The
flat cap.
Oh yeah.
Yes, the flat cap. The old flat cap. Sometimes there's the newsboy version that gets all puffy, the newsboy cap. But
I think my brother wears one of those every week on the show we do. I think they're called Scalies hats.
Yeah, scally caps. That's what we
scally caps. Yeah. So it's a little known fact, but these have been hugely influential in the history of rock and roll.
Wow.
So obviously Brian Johnson is a prime exponent of the flat cap.
Yes.
Here you can see the sort of generally bulbous variation.
Yes. Yep.
Possibly to hold his hair, although he's not probably got as much of that as he used to.
I was fixing to say, yeah.
so Smilex, I'm from Yorkshire. I call this cultural appropriation. Well, if you're from Yorkshire, you'll know what I'm talking about when I say, be careful or I'll give you some icky thump. So Brian Johnson is one of the prime exponents, but he's not the only one. And I think it's the influence on rock has been strong over the years. Obviously, David Bowie. Has a very he's got the more traditional, very flat cap.
Yeah.
There. Yes.
Mm-hmm.
A by gum, icky thump, black sausage Bertha, black pudding Bertha. Eric Clapton goes for the slightly more bulbous version as well, of course.
Mm-hmm.
Sort of heading towards the newsboy version, as they used to call it, the newsboy flat cap. Now this one is getting slightly ridiculous. This is the saggy ball black flat cap. With Joe Perry possibly carrying something under there, maybe a small rodent or that's what they wear in Peaky Blinders. That's right, the flat cap. I used to wear one years ago. Funnily enough, when I was young, I should wear them now. I'm old. I used to wear them when I was young.
Mm-hmm.
Mick Jagger has the most. He has to have the perverted red plastic one or leather, whatever it is.
Wow, Nick.
That's definitely not a good look.
No,
Um,
no.
But and then of course we're getting into the more serious ones. Ian Anderson, Bill, his is in the shape of a codpiece. So we're going up the charts now. Next top one is Elton John. Elton used to rock the flat cap a lot back in the days, but I think he was hiding an already enlarging bald spot.
Yeah, I was fixing to say he went bald quick. He did. Yeah.
But yeah, Elton obviously wore a lot of hats in his time, but the flat cap for a while was one of his, showing his working class roots, for all that he's as flamboyant, whatever now, we all know what he is now, but in terms of his life, but I not do mean that in a negative way, but he's always been an overtop showman,
Yes.
Ian Dury, the great belated, sadly missed Ian Dury, on his way to some greyhound racing with a whippet, I suspect.
Wow. Can there be anything more English or British than a flat cap and a whippet?
That's right.
Right.
Or a whippet wearing a flat cap.
That's true. I've seen that too.
And then getting close to the top of the charts now.
Oh, look at this.
Phil Collins.
I forgot he wore one of those occasionally. Yeah,
he is the flattest of flat caps.
Yeah.
Yep.
He doesn't even have a peak.
Nope.
It's kind of like
he's definitely hiding a bald spot under there.
He's definitely hiding a bald spot. He's actually he couldn't be in Peaky Blinders. He's got nowhere to hide the razor blade in that one. But number one in the flat cap wearing rock world, is a little remembered Irish artist who I heard the other day of all places on a Korean television show, and it reminded me of this guy in this great song, Gilbert O'Sullivan.
Wow.
Irish
not Gilbert and Sullivan, but
Gilbert
O'Sullivan.
Gilbert O'Sullivan, Irish pop star of the early 70s who went for a very retro look.
Tell me his parents didn't name him that on purpose.
That's right. And now you may remember him from hits like Alone Again Naturally, which we're going to play a clip of. But Gilbert was the number one flat cap guy, in my opinion. He rocked that thing hard. So let's take a little look at Gilbert O'Sullivan in action with said cap. We're going to get dinged for this, but what the hell? This was a huge hit. I remember it.
Yes, it was. It was a huge hit.
And it was featured in a Korean show I've been watching recently called Moving. And what's interesting about this song is it's very jaunty and happy sounding, but it's really miserable when you listen to it.
It is. You listen to the lyrics, it's a sad song, man.
That's a common thing in Irish folk music, especially. Like, it sounds all fun and happy, and then you look at the lyrics. Like,
that's right. It's about his parents dying, and he's all left alone. And it makes you weep, honestly.
Naturally.
But look at that hat. I mean, that is a piece of art. Anyway, that's Gilbert O'Sullivan, my number one flat cap wearer. I do like this song, though, I have to say.
Yeah.
It's a beautiful melody. But
yeah.
I'm surprised you all remember it, or any of you remember
I do.
it.
I remember it. Yeah. I do remember that one.
Yeah.
Naturally. Yeah.
And Claire was a big hit. Claire, about his daughter, and Get Down, as D. Bud Martin's Get Down, which is about his dog. The man wrote about a lot of domestic stuff. And then there was another one called Nothing Rhymes, or Nothing Rhymed, which was a bit more serious about war and stuff. So anyway.
What is about Irishmen love to sing about war? I don't get that.
Yeah.
You two did that too.
Because we do it a lot.
Yeah, it's true. But then again, you know, we'll get in
the
a fist fight, but we'll buy you a beer afterwards too. So,
well, that's true too.
Yeah.
After the war's over, we can all be friends again.
The flat cap in rock. There you have it. I was going to make a video about it. I thought, to hell with it. I'll just do it on the show today. I still haven't done my bagpipes in rock video, which I've been working on.
There you go.
For a while. But, just to, I have a lot of images here, but there's some anniversaries. So let me just show this. So February the 12th, 1982, Run to the Hills was released.
Yes.
Really?
So what
a great song, man.
42 years ago, am I right in saying? 1982.
Doing the math, yes. That would be 42 years ago, exactly. Yeah. Yes. 4 decades.
And when I hear a number like that, 42 years since that
4 years ago.
It actually frightens me because I think it seems like just the other day. Like, this is a new record. This is all new. I guess because I was a teenager at the time. New wave, and this was the first, for me, the first major commercial success out of the new wave of British heavy metal. They'd had some stuff been released, quite a few things, but this was the biggest.
This is the first exposure I had to them.
Yeah.
And it was that, you know, they were always on that heavy metal half hour that MTV would do. You know, them and Quiet Riot and the Scorpions, they were always on there, you know?
Yeah. So that one that was a big milestone for me, that song. I was absolutely hugely into that stuff. And seeing these bands live all around me at the time, all the new wave of British heavy metal stuff. So that brought a sobering moment to me. 42 years since that was released. But we have a little clip. We have a little clip, and this is not a clip. Actually, I've got to show this on YouTube, and that's not it. That's a different thing. Oh yeah, so this is Bruce Dickinson. I'm going to pause this if it starts. This is Bruce Dickinson in 2023 singing "Run to the Hills" with a band, assuming that this band is either a local band in Oxfordshire, or maybe it's even RAF guys. This is an RAF Bryce Norton, which I've been to many times back in the day. And he's taken a night off, one of these nights off from Maiden touring, and he's gone and joined this band to sing Run to the Hills. And it was the retiral of the C-130 Hercules aircraft.
Oh, yeah.
Yeah. It's the 47 Squadron Band, so I think it is a bunch of RAF guys, and he took the time to go there and sing Run to the Hills with them, so. You still can't dance.
No. Not supposed to dance. You're supposed to sing. He can do that.
So I have to say fair play to him for doing this, you know?
Yeah.
Well, he's had
jamming with these guys.
Very positive history with the RAF.
Yeah, he's for all I know, I mean, I think he's a great guy. I've never really, I think he's a good bloke, and this to me proved it, you know.
I've heard things that he can be kind of.
I'm sure he can be. Yeah, they've all got an ego.
So can most people if you get them at the wrong time.
Yeah. So that's the Iron Beast YouTube channel, by the way. Go check out Iron Beast. Great clip, and it just this actually took me back because whilst Iron Maiden never played at any RAF bases when I was in the forces in that era, Diamond Head did, and a lot of rock, heavy metal stuff and heavy rock stuff, you know.
Yeah.
We had because there was 2,000 or 3,000 people on a base, and you could get a big crowd. So.
Oh yeah, especially early on for a band, like that's huge.
Yeah. So
especially because you're going to get people coming out because it's a military base. There's nothing to do on the weekends other than drink or go to a rock show.
Yeah, sometimes, yeah. But that was an anniversary which I think was worth noting. And another one, another great favorite of mine, Steve Hackett was, I think it may also have been today, was 74 years old. Steve Hackett of Genesis, obviously mid-period Genesis, my favorite Genesis. So he was 74. Always been one of my favorite guitarists. Obviously not a shredder, very much more melodic, sensitive, sustained type guy. But happy birthday, Steve. Some of my favorite experiences of all time, seeing Genesis and listening to Genesis albums of that era, from Selling England right up to Duke, I think is the golden
Did he
era
play
for
with
me.
Peter Gabriel or
He did,
Phil
yes.
Collins?
So Selling England by the Pound, for instance, is possibly the classic lineup of the Gabriel era. Obviously, that's huge debate amongst people. I love him a lot, and we're going to play a little clip of him too, because why not? That's what we do here. Steve Hackett, Firth of Fifth. This is actually 20 years ago, but it's quite a neat clip. It's a little bit of him playing the wonderful, lengthy solo piece, solo part of Firth of Fifth. That's still one of my favorite passages of any song of all time, that bit there.
I mean, that sounds just as smooth as Pink Floyd, man. That's badass.
It's beautiful. Hackett's a beautiful player, very melodic. I've got a lot of his acoustic, classical guitar stuff as well.
And it takes a lot of talent to be able to play that smoothly, that melodically.
Mm-hmm.
Because it's easy to sound good if you're going a million miles a minute, and you're just
That's
hitting your
right.
Right, but a lot of that he's got to hold notes.
Yeah, he's got to sustain it. He's got to do a very precise bend to get the
and
right.
I didn't
notes,
see him.
hammer on.
I didn't see him really manipulating that whammy bar too much either.
Nope.
Looks like he's doing it with his fingers.
It's
Well, yeah, that's called a hammer on, where you're basically just tapping the string above where you're currently holding, so it kind of creates that warbling effect.
It's one of my favorite songs of all time from one of my favorite albums, and that's one of my favorite passages from that song. It's beautiful. It's melodic and haunting.
Yeah, it's very cool.
So Sumo Orange, this is Steve Hackett solo playing Firth of Fifth by Genesis from Selling England by the Pound, and he still goes out playing that Genesis material that he was involved with up to Wind and Wuthering, I think, was the last album he was on, and it's just beautiful stuff. So happy birthday to Steve Hackett.
How old is he?
74. Almost as old as you, Joe.
Yeah, almost as old as me.
Yeah, and he does great solo albums too. I've got most of them, and especially I love the he does classical music, classical guitar stuff. It's gorgeous.
Yeah.
So I did have some other images, not necessarily about music, but we're going to show them anyway. I went to see Godzilla -1 minus color recently. Did a video in it. I've always liked this image.
That's great.
Yeah, takes a little while.
Godzilla -1, by the way. Excellent movie. If you guys haven't seen it,
It's great, and
I've got to
the whole-
see it, man. I've got to. Now that I've got Saturdays off, I can actually go see some movies. Last weekend I went and saw The Beekeeper with Statham, and it was great. That movie was good. I enjoyed the heck out of it.
Yeah, I'm gonna go. I might go see that on Friday. I've got an opportunity to be in the city, so I might do that. So Sumo was asking a really, really tough question. Who are some rock and metal bands you don't like?
Oh well, the first one that pops into my mind is Rat. I can't stand that monotone singer they have. It just, oh God, they're a talented band, but man, that lead singer. Oh my gosh.
So we're gonna
Well,
welcome a great friend to the channel, a fantastic contributor to many shows in the past, and a legend in the business, or so the women tell me. It's Wilco. Hello, sir. How you doing?
Sunshines?
We're good, mate. Thanks for joining us on this 2-year anniversary stream. I take it
Cool.
you're in New York City, I believe.
I'm in New York visiting my daughters, and then I fly off to do Rock and Roll Rowdies in England on Thursday. I'm waiting for them to tell me if I got to go home and sign on the dole. I'll go down to deal in Kent and make it millions of dollars. It's a tough one to go.
I'd go to deal in Kent, I think. Yeah.
Yeah.
So yeah, exciting things happening for the Rowdies with radio stuff through Deal Radio and potential TV stuff being worked on by you and produced. So we might be seeing lots more of the Rowdies out there.
Yep, we're going to be doing lots of good stuff. Unfortunately, I'm going to find money to buy a camera. You know, my camera blew up before I left, so no more photographs.
Yeah.
I've just uploaded like 46 photographs on Smug Mug to start selling.
Yeah, you take a lot of wildlife photographs, don't you, sir?
Yeah, wildlife, sunsets, flowers. Nothing in the rock and roll business lately, you know.
Birds of prey.
Birds of prey.
Yeah. Not Klingon ones, just
No Klingons.
So we're going to ask you this question because we've had lots of shows together where you've talked about stuff that you like, music that you like. What are some bands that you don't like?
Quite a few, actually.
Yeah.
But I don't.
I mean, musically.
No, but I've never been into rap. I just don't get it. Sorry. My upbringing is rock and roll, R&B. I mean, brought up listening to Marvin Gaye, Diana Ross, Shaka Khan, Pointer Sisters. Mm-hmm. You know, all of those that I used to work for as well, which was a privilege. You know. Then you look at this, you know, the things that was on the top of the pops in England, which was, you know, Rolling Stones, The Who, The Beatles, obviously, The Kinks, Queen, you know, Humble Pie.
Oh, I love Humble Pie.
You know, I mean, Deep Purple. I mean, some heavy rockers, you know.
Yeah.
And that's, you know, on my podcast, as you know, we've talked about going down to the Marquee Club, the Speakeasy, and that's what this is going to be about, what we do in England. You know, it's sitting next to Robert Plant having a steak Diane in the Speakeasy, you know, and Mitch Mitchell and all the guys just all hung out talking and carrying on, you know.
Who would you say in the rock, and I'm talking of rock music, not necessarily rap or anything, who would you say is the most overrated act in your opinion?
I think Humble Pie.
Overrated, not underrated.
Overrated.
Humble Pie deserve more attention for sure.
Oh no, Humble Pie was just it.
Steve Marriott, the great
Steve Marriott. God bless him.
And Peter Frampton to start with. Peter Frampton at the beginning, yeah.
Yeah, well, I can't talk about the stories about them on the air. Yeah. The Bahamas.
How did Peter Frampton lose his hair? That's what I want to know.
Yeah, right.
He used to have the greatest hair, and now he's bald as us. He's as bald as me.
Yeah. You know, that happens. You know, some of us keep it and some of us don't. It's, you know, I mean, I'm looking at my older brothers and even my younger ones, and all getting thin and everything, you know. I've still got it, thank goodness.
Oh, we'd say you still got it, mate. Absolutely. Absolutely. Well, thank you for joining us. We were just, somebody posed that question about things that we didn't like. I think there's not many bands that I actively dislike. I'm talking rock bands. There's some that I'm just like, nah, couldn't care less about per se. I've never been keen ever on the Grateful Dead. I really don't like the Grateful Dead.
Yeah, they're just kind of.
I'm with you on that one. That's
They have some songs that are okay. Like Touch of Grey is pretty good, but other than that, it's just like don't really care.
I guess you have to be in the mood.
yes.
So to speak. But I've always felt they were like, well, I never got the hype, and I know some people adore them.
Oh, dude, they've got people that chase them around the country when they toured,
Yeah, so I wasn't really that keen on that, but I can't think of it. I'm trying to think of any bands I actively hate, and I don't think so. Hate's a strong word,
Yeah.
I don't hate, like when I mentioned Rat, I don't hate them. They're talented. I like their songs, but as soon as that singer starts singing, I'm like, dude, hit an octave higher or lower at some point. He's just monotone as he can be,
Does that make 70s the ungrateful living? Yeah, probably. That's all of us, I think. I hate Bon Jovi, says Sumo Orange. I've kind of I went off them pretty quickly. There's still a couple of okay songs in there, but really overplayed to death. And having seen them live, it was like, really? Yeah.
I saw them on the Slippery and Wet
on the radio too much, so it just kind of like they're overplayed to hell. So it's just kind of like, oh God, not again.
Yeah. Now you want to talk about overplayed bands. If I love Led Zeppelin, but if I never hear rock and roll again, it'll be okay. Really. I mean, I've heard it so many times. And Stairway to Heaven, that's another one. I don't need to hear that song again.
Well, Stairway to Heaven is definitely one of the most overplayed songs of all time. Speaking of Jimmy Page, who was 80 recently.
I'm on, yeah.
This is happy birthday to Jimmy Page. Seen here getting his first guitar lesson from Keith Richards.
That's very cool.
So awesome. We've also been joined by through the back door.
Oh, there he is.
Another one of our great friends, Gary from Pop Culture Minefield. How are you, sir?
What's up, Big Daddy?
Hey, buddy.
Frozen.
I'm doing pretty good, buddy.
Yeah, your face is frozen, but that's okay. We can hear you.
You're frozen.
And of course, many of our early Rowdy shows were done on the Pop Culture Minefield channel. And Pop Culture Minefield's been very good to me. Gary's been very good to me. So thank you, Gary.
He's been good to a lot of us. Yeah. No doubt.
In fact, he's been so good to me that I have to share a couple of things about Gary.
Oh, you prick. I swear to God.
First of all, Gary was Sean Connery standing in Zardos, little known fact. Gary sneaked in through the back door for that movie. But also, Gary, of course, is famous for his stamina. And the fact that he can stream all night, no problem.
You son of a bitch. I can't believe you fucking do that.
I did. I'm sorry. I was ready for you.
I had been waiting for him for hours and I fell asleep. And then he was late. Shows up and then he records me. You motherfucker.
It's my fault. My fault? How was it my fault? Anyway,
it's a dirty way to treat a mate.
I did record you sleeping for about 15 minutes, but that's just a little clip I used.
Yeah, I'm so grateful that you didn't play the sound of my snoring.
Well, there was snoring, and then there was all that mumbling about beat me, daddy, or something.
Beat me, space.
Hit me hard, something or other. You were mumbling. I don't know what it was, but.
Well, I can't stay long. I just wanted to pop in because I got to get ready for the show tonight with Don Ecker. We're doing a big UFO show tonight.
Oh, nice. Oh, well,
yeah, you'll be go
where at, Gary? Where are you doing that?
It's on Facebook on a Rumble. They don't do KGRA gave up on YouTube.
Yeah.
They got punished one too many times for my foul mouth.
Oh, no.
Zeke Thomason says Gary isn't frozen. He's just very intense.
Wait a minute. You're in here and you're messaging these insults? How do you do that?
Well, it was Equally Thomason that did it, not me. Yeah, you were Connery's
Well, I'm saying,
son.
Clay, why aren't you just saying no shitty things to me?
He's not in here.
He's not in here.
It says Pope Metallicus. I thought he was Pope Metallicus was him. Okay.
No, Pope's got no problem insulting you to your face.
Oh,
Yeah, Pope
absolutely.
can't stand me.
Right?
Wilco is awesome.
So that's a UFO. That's KGRA, and it will be on YouTube with Don Ecker, who's great, of course. I've seen a lot of
It
his
starts
shows
at 6 o'clock Central Time.
Yeah.
Cool.
And how is the Vindicated coming along? Your comic, graphic novel.
It's getting ready to ramp up because the only time money really flows in is when I'm doing shows about it. Yeah. So I'm going to be doing Midnight's Edge this Wednesday, and then on Friday I'm going to be going on Loki and Snow's channel Friday evening, and then KGR is supposed to have me on several of their radio shows that involve law enforcement and military.
Yes, good stuff, mate. And I will be playing your trailer later for it. And D-Bud's dropped
I appreciate it, buddy. That's really nice of you.
D-Bud has dropped the link as well in the chat. So good stuff. Yeah, well, glad you could make it in, mate. You know, you're the. It's always good to see you, and thank you for all your support in the last couple of years.
Well, if I were asked who some of my best mates would be, you're on the list.
It's a long list, but I'm sure I'm on there somewhere.
Oh, no,
I'm just kidding.
The list is short. It's just really girthy.
Oh, right. It's the width that counts. That's right. Yeah.
It's short but girthy.
Girthy. It's girthy. Anyway, thanks, buddy.
All right, I'll see you guys.
Take care, man. Take care.
Hi, Gary. Listen, Jack, guys, I've got to jump off as well because I completely forgot this was on.
Oh, no
my
worries,
wonderful daughter's just made me dinner. And I want to say I love you all, especially Brian. I will be calling you when we can talk. Yeah. I fly out Thursday, and a lot of changes have happened since the last time we talked. So anything we can do for you, mate, you know we're there for you. And thank you for all the work you've done for us. I mean,
it's been my pleasure to be friends with you guys, and there's lots more great stuff to come in the future, I'm sure.
Yeah, well, you'll be involved, mate.
Yeah,
I'll be in touch before I leave.
Okay, safe travels.
Bye.
Cheers, Wilco.
Bye.
Take care, bud.
Everybody, check out Rock and Roll Rowdy's channel and all the stuff on this channel and that channel we've done with them. There's some fascinating shows. We had some great times. These guys were in at the heart of it, heart of rock and roll. Keeps beating.
Man, yeah, they've got more knowledge you can shake a stick at. It's some of the greatest bands that ever played music. It's ridiculous.
Absolutely. So thanks to Wilco and Gary for dropping in. That's been great to see them. Yes, once more, a reminder of Gary's impressive stand-in career.
That's the meme I made of him the first night I was on.
Still one of your better ones.
Yeah. So we did this one. So here's a story I wanted to tell you, because as everyone may have guessed, I am a Scotsman. And this is a story from a Scottish newspaper. I think it's the Evening News, possibly. It might be. The bride's Ochai the Pooh. A fuming bride decked her kilt-wearing husband when he sat on her knee at the reception and left a skid mark on her wedding dress.
Oh my God.
Like all true, this is a typical Scottish wedding, of course. Because it gets worse. Like all true Scotsmen, Angus McClure, 26, didn't wear pants under his kilt when he married sweetheart Sarah in Greenock, Renfrewshire, but his traditionalism led to uproar when he perched his poorly wiped backside on 24-year-old Sarah's pristine frock, leaving an unsightly smear. After Sarah swiped at Angus, the well-refreshed McClure and Grant clans led the reception into bloody mayhem. I'll just finish this article, then we'll welcome our latest guest. A police source said, I've been a police officer in Greenock for nearly 20 years, so I've seen a lot of wedding parties turn nasty. And that's true. I've been to a lot of Scottish weddings that ended up in a mass brawl. But this was something else. In total, 7 people were arrested in the grounds of the wedding venue and faced public order offences. It's believed that Angus and Sarah were reconciled when they sobered up and have no memory whatsoever of the melee. It's just, it's the skid mark thing is one thing, and that's the danger of wearing a kilt. Of course, it's the fighting and mayhem that resulted.
Come on, bro. Wow.
Yeah, I love that one.
Oh, the British Isles are just great for living down to their stereotypes, aren't they?
That's right. We live right down to them. And I have a clip from a Scottish show to play in a few minutes, but I did want to welcome my dear friend who I've streamed with many times, particularly in Midnight's Edge After Dark, Scribe Light. How are you, sir? Apart from quiet, we can't hear you, buddy.
We can't hear you, bro. Check out your settings.
Oh, there we go. Oh, no. No, Scribe. So if you go down to the little mute button, there's a little arrow next to it. Check your microphone setting in there. Maybe it's because it's Talk Studio.
Yeah.
And while you get that sorted, we will play the clip I'm going to show from a Scottish television comedy called Chewing the Fat. It may be a little hard for some of you to follow along with this, but trust me, it's going to be worthwhile. Because this is one of my favorite shows. You may have seen on Netflix Still Game, the show Still Game, which is the same team that made that. This is one of the recurring characters they had in the show called Betty.
Okay, it's just a few minutes about the Americans in Glasgow, Betty. Your thoughts, memories, happy or otherwise?
Oh, aye. Is that thing running, son?
We running?
Yes.
Right. Okay, Betty, it's 1943. The Americans have descended on Glasgow. How did they fit in?
Oh, they fitted in very well. See, the only experience we had with the Americans was going to pictures and seeing Humphrey Bogart and Jimmy Cagney and that. I mean, we were fascinated with them. Big, good-looking boys, so they were. But a lot of folk weren't happy with the Yanks being here, because your boys were away fighting. And there was us who took the dancing with them all the time. I mean, me and my pal Rose were never after them. Because they had money, you know, and they could buy you a drink and show you a good time. And anyway, what was I meant to be doing? I mean, my Charlie had been away for 3 years, and I was absolutely ganting for it.
Betty, it's a tea time show, fond recollections. How can I use that word?
Yanks?
Ganton.
Ganton for it.
Sorry, son, right, yeah.
Right, off you go.
Right, well, see, you couldn't get islands. You had to draw a line up the back of your legs so they looked like islands. But you could get islands off the Yanks, and money. You could get money off them and all, the money for things.
She's getting money.
Say that, Betty. Just keep it light, please. Light, happy memories.
There were happy memories. I mean, that's the thing. Even though there was a war on you, you had to make light of it. You had to see the funny side.
It's all right. We just have to watch what we transmit.
Sorry, son.
So, Betty, there was a funny side to it all, wasn't there?
Aye. And the funny thing was, there was my Charlie away in Tobruk fighting for king and country, and there's me and Rose round the back of the Barrowlands with our skirts round our necks getting pumped rotten.
That's the end of the interview. Thanks, Betty.
The Americans were hung like ducks.
That's enough. Thank you very much, Betty.
Yeah, she was a recurring character, and every
Getting
time
pumped rotten.
it
That's
always
hilarious.
descended into getting pumped rotten by somebody.
God, man. Is that the same chick that the drinker uses on
Yes,
on a lot of
it's
his
the same
videos?
woman.
It says, I
Shite.
definitely smell shite.
That's
Yeah.
right. It's the same actress. Yeah, it's a hilarious show. I mean, it wouldn't travel as well because it's the Scottish accents, but she is hilarious, Betty. She's always getting pumped rotten by somebody because you expect old ladies to be nice.
Right. She's sitting there like.
Yeah. So, Scribe, my friend, thank you for trying to come in. I know you were having some audio problems or we couldn't hear you. I do appreciate you coming in, mate. Try and get back in if you can and check the microphone settings. That would be
check
awesome.
them before you come back in, Scribe. You should be.
Yeah, thanks, buddy, for
This
coming in.
software likes to switch microphones on you occasionally. Yeah.
So that was this is a good image I spotted the other day. It's nothing to do with Scotland, but
This man's playing to win.
Indeed. This one is to do with Scotland, and I'm still not quite sure what the point of it is, but so
I'm just surprised it's not fried.
It's not fried. I have questions though. Was he disgusted by it and reported it to the police because it just looked disgusting, because it does, or is there something else he suspects is going on here? Cheese and chocolate toast, for God's sake.
That's about gross as all get out.
I've been playing a lot of Elden Ring recently, and this is actually my favorite area in Elden Ring. Anyone who knows my home city will get this one. It's Edinburgh, but it does look like Elden Ring.
I was fixing to say that thing up top looks a lot like a lot of the set pieces in that game.
It's very Elden Ring-ish. Yeah.
Well, that, and it's gray and gloomy, and everything's horrible.
That's right.
And there's lots of things running around the streets.
And there's lots of dead people lying around. Another Scottish one, of course, is this.
Oh shit! Sunbathing in a freaking snowstorm.
And of course, my favourite place name in Scotland is this one.
Oh, good lord!
So that was just a few images that I had stored up that I've never used or never had opportunity to use.
Yeah.
So let me hide that on the stream. Once again, my apologies to Scribe for not being audible. It would have been love to have chatted to you, mate. But so I wanted to just pivot a little bit, as they do. It's top of the hour, 4 o'clock. I hope everybody's having fun. Thank you for joining us.
Yes.
I wanted to just talk a little bit about some upcoming entertainment.
Uh-oh.
So we're going to play a trailer or two. And
we got a lot of trailers dumped yesterday during the Super Bowl.
We have another guest. So Granny of the Rock and Roll Rowdies is joining us. We can't see you, buddy. Can you hear us?
Give up with this. Can you hear me?
We can hear you.
Hear you just fine, Granny, but you are
maybe that's
the
a
invisible
blessing.
man.
I don't know why you can't hear me. Hey, I just couldn't let this huge anniversary go unnoticed, and wanted to pass on our thanks for everything you've done for us, and to wish you 2 more years at least.
Oh, thank you, buddy. And it's been such a pleasure hanging out with you guys and making all these great shows. And we've had such good fun, and there will be more to come, I'm sure.
Oh yeah, we're in flux at the minute.
Yeah, you're. I guess of all the rowdies, I would say you're probably the prog expert.
Oh yeah, I would imagine.
So we had it was Steve Hackett's 74th birthday. We played a little Steve Hackett earlier.
Yeah,
Genesis.
That's more Mal. Mal was his in about 76. Mal started getting into the personal roadie sort of thing. That was one of his first ones, I think.
Yeah, but I think when you worked with King Crimson and others, Genesis were often on the bill, and early Genesis. The other thing I wanted to ask you about is, what is your view on the flat cap in rock and roll? Is it a necessary accessory, or?
Well, it is for the singer for what's his name, AC/DC.
Well, Brian Johnson, exactly. Yes. Because we had a little funny segment on that earlier. I just wondered if you were ever a flat cap wearer, being a northerner.
You know, I always liked them, but I haven't got the patience to go shopping. I wear whatever's like top of the pile, or I've been given. You can tell looking at me, I wear clothes. I'm not a fashion stylist.
You're not a fashionista? Yeah.
No. But if I was happened to be in a place and I saw a slugger, I think we call them sluggers. And I quite like one of those big floppy ones with a tweedy fabric, but I've never got round to it.
Yeah, and if you wear one and you're a Yorkshireman, which you're not, of course, but you're close, you'd practice the ancient art of Icky Thump.
Ooh-Ecky Thump, I believe it is. The full title, Ooh-Ecky Thump.
Ooh-Ecky Thump.
No, I've got to correct myself. I will have to dig through my massive archives. I used to have a woolen kind of flat cap.
Oh.
And so what I used to do was I had massive amounts of hair. This is when I was with Van de Graaff, and I used to put my hair up into this thing. So it looked a bit like a Rasta hat. I was ahead of my time.
Oh, wow. Was that when you were working with Bob Marley and the Whalers?
Yeah, the Whalers with a WH.
That's right.
You saw that, right?
That's a great poster, yeah.
So what I would do, though, because I was, you couldn't help but be a bit of a poser when you were rocking and rolling. I've always been a bit flamboyant. At a suitable moment, I would take the cap off and shake the hair down, kind of.
Yeah, and you can still do that. Some of us
still can, ironically, yeah.
Some of us can. So we were just about to launch into playing a couple of trailers from upcoming movies and TV stuff. I don't know if you'd be interested sticking around and watching those with us.
I mean, is it a distraction if you don't have my face showing?
No,
I'm
that's
happy as it
okay.
is.
You just
No,
look
not at
like
all.
you just look like a bunch of classic rock albums right now.
Yeah, I'll just watch whatever. I mean, I don't know if I can stay on the whole. How many more hours you got? But
Stick around, my friend. But yeah, right now I can see Rod Stewart in your place on the screen. So
yeah,
he got all of his moves from me anyway. That's another one of these little known stories.
Well, indeed, Rod the Mod. So let's check out a couple of trailers for things that I'm interested in. There's the latest trailer for Shogun, the FX remake, I guess you could say.
That looks good.
New version. My favorite book of all time, James Clavell's Shogun. So I'm very interested in this and hoping they don't fuck it up.
Hear me, my son. I alone will tell you the truth. Death is the only punishment here.
I have not told you my family name, but it is well known in Japan. Many years ago, a great injustice stole everything from me. I have learned one truth, that enemies are everywhere and friends nowhere. To show your true heart is to risk your life. Because death can come for us at any moment.
These are dire times. Hinomotoは戦乱の世に立ち返るわけ。Doomed lovers, cursed kings.
These people are godless savages. Or maybe they just don't give a shit what you think.
時は来た。おり高ぶった逆賊から日の本を守らねばならん。
もはや戦議は終わったと思ってよいのじゃな。
動けない。
その後、己の敵の正体が分かっておらぬのじゃ。
You cannot play their games. That's how they dominate. A title revered through the ages. Shogun.
So the trailer for Shogun on FX February 27th.
One of the guys that came to my Super Bowl party yesterday, when they showed the slow motion arrow go in front of her face, he was like, "Whoa!" So yeah, if you never watched the original, man, this is going to be a good show.
So
no doubt.
It's excellent.
Yeah, it's debatable whether it's a remake of the 80s miniseries or just a new adaptation of the novel.
I'd say it's a new adaptation.
That's what I was going to ask.
Yeah, I think it's a new adaptation of the novel, and I think there'll be a lot of differences from the 80s miniseries, which I have sitting here on the shelf. But
well, one thing that's going to be different. This one's obviously filmed the way most things are these days. It's dark. It's almost colorless, and
I did,
Yeah,
you didn't get the full picture of the cinematography from that trailer because I've darkened it a bit just to try and for copyright purposes.
I got you.
So I can say, well, it's not. If you want to see the real trailer, go to watch it on whatever site. It does look visually stunning. It certainly has a certain kind of look to it. It probably looks great because it was filmed in Vancouver, a lot of it.
Oh yeah.
Well, I'm just saying they're subduing the colors. I remember the original one, man. That was like Kirby like color splashed.
Yeah, that was very bright. This one's not quite as bright. It does look visually stunning. It looks like some incredible set pieces. Casting seems pretty good. My concern, and I've noticed a couple of people that are familiar with the story in the chat, is what are they doing with the character of Mariko, who's the female lead? Now, in the novel, she's certainly brave, intelligent, resourceful, does carry
She's
a
not
knife.
a girl boss.
She's not a girl boss. She stands up to men at various points and scenes
Right.
where she has to bravely go through guys that are trying to.
But always within the rules.
Yes.
Because that was a thing in Japan. You do not go outside the established rules if you want to keep your head.
Yeah.
Right.
So she's not a girl boss. She's not a ninja, not a ronin, not a trained assassin. Yes, she's samurai woman, and she carries a knife, but that's for defense. There are many brave. She's a brave character and very clever, but she didn't go around ninjaing people and killing people. I think they've gone for girl boss there, which is.
I have a question.
Yeah.
You forgive my ignorance. You guys are much more cinematographically knowledgeable and stuff. There was a movie not long ago with Tom Cruise, The Last Samurai.
Yeah.
Yes.
How does that compare to it? Did you like that?
Yeah.
It was more 20th
that's
century,
good.
wasn't it? Like when they were coming into modern machinery and war.
I like
that
The Last Samurai.
the 1860s. That was during the Boshin War, so that was probably 1870, just about.
Yeah,
a little earlier.
Yeah,
I think they were starting to run into modern weaponry, and they had to adapt.
Yeah,
I didn't know like how deep it went into the traditions of Japan. I'm not an expert. I know Japan was steeped in traditions.
Last Samurai, as Pope said, was set during the era when the reign of the shoguns and the old samurai and clan order was ending, and the new civil and military, more modern, as the Japanese reformers at the time said, Western style administration was coming in, and they were determined to wipe out the old clans and the old daimos. So that was a very interesting period. Of course, they did end up modernizing Japan, adopted Western dress, industrialized, and got rid of the old order. So that was when that
very
was
famously built a modern navy that you guys might remember from a little scuffle we had with the Japanese in the 40s.
That's right.
Yeah.
But there's an eerie Scottish parallel too. Of course, the English tried that with the Jacobites in the 1740s. The clan
and succeeded.
Yeah, they did.
Unfortunately for us, you guys never quite civilized Scotland to that extent.
Nobody ever could.
He's a break. Yeah, well, the thing about the Jacobite stuff is, sorry to take a diversion from Shogun, but the Jacobite stuff wasn't necessarily Scotland versus England. It was Catholic versus Protestant, or I should say Protestant versus Catholic, and two different royal houses vying for power. The Jacobites and the current monarchy in England at the time, or a monarchy of Britain, who were the German imported Habsburg or whatever they were, and they were Protestants. So the Jacobites were the old, Bonnie Prince Charlie was the descendant of what I can't remember which king, Stuart King, and they were usurped, and they were Catholics. Most Highland clans were still Catholic, and they wanted to regain the British throne for the Stuarts and the Catholics.
So they would keep anybody else, like any clan that would cooperate. So they didn't try to wipe the clans out as such. Okay.
Yeah, he said, if you want to keep your kilts and your traditions and be part of this, join us against the Jacobites.
Right.
And there were English supporters of the Stuarts and the Jacobites too, but they generally seen as a Scotland v England thing, because the majority of the Jacobite army were Scottish, but the army facing them, the British army, was made up of Scots and England as well.
Right.
So it's a fascinating period, tragic period, but fascinating nonetheless. So yeah, Shogun I'm excited for, but I am not particularly happy about the making Mariko a girl boss and the key to everything. She certainly was major figure in the book.
I'm waiting to see the show for for how they actually portray her, because they could do her right. Because, like you say, she is very strong and very assertive and a very brilliantly written character. One of Clavel's best.
Yeah, she's brave. She's
her and
smart.
Toranaga are my two favorites in that entire series, because Toranaga, as you find out later, has just been manipulating everyone behind the scenes pretty much.
Toranaga is just magnificent. Now I know that the actor, the Hideki, whatever his name is, I can never remember his name, that they've chose to play him looks nothing like Toranaga in the book, but I don't care about that as much.
Yeah, no, he portrayed him excellently, and in the book, Toranaga is just an absolute, not only a brilliant guy, but a very good person by Japanese standards of the day.
Yeah, he's a moral and fair person in many ways, but utterly ruthless and cunning.
Oh, yes.
And
And I
he
love
used
the reason that, not to spoil the book for anyone, if you haven't read it, it's been out for like 65 years now, is the fact that, you know, the only reason he keeps Blackthorn around is because he needs a friend. Someone that he can actually just have fun and trust.
and
with.
who's not part of the Japanese structure.
Yeah, who's
He
not
was
part of the game. Who's not part of the game.
part
and
of the
he can just
game.
Be
Yeah.
there.
Plus, he knows he's a weapon because he's a master pilot and can control the seas.
And that will make the Spanish shit themselves as soon as he gives them a ship.
So I'd like to say a great big hello to another brother of mine and great contributor to this show over the period, the wonderful Darius Munchausen, who's a $3 super sticker of a sparkly hands, devil horns with sparkles. Thank you, brother. Get in here if you can. Good to see you. Thanks for being here. And let's play you a little clip of some kind. I'm thinking this one. Indeed. Thank you, Darius. Interesting chat as well by Henry. Absolutely correct, sir. So the Last Samurai is the fact they claim that samurai don't use guns, but they did. They used them from far back as the 1500s.
Well, if I remember right, those weren't samurai that they were training. Those were standard peasant infantry. They weren't anybody special. So they would have been like your average levy conscript in most European armies at the time.
But yeah, musket squadrons existed in Japan from the 1500s. In fact, when they invaded Korea in the late 1500s, the muskets made all the difference because the Koreans had hardly any. But the Japanese had squadrons of them, well-trained squadrons. And they devastated the Korean defenders. So, the guns were around for a long time there. I guess some of the samurai had disdain for them, which is portrayed in movies. But they certainly were used by the shoguns. Hey, Snowdub's here, Courtney's here, Penny's here. Good to see you all in the chat. But yeah, I'm looking forward to it.
I hate to go, Brian, but I gotta run. But it's been great being on here, and like I said, I can't believe it's been 2 years.
I know, it's 2 great years, and you've been a huge part of that, mate.
I think I've been here most of that time.
Yes, you've been from the start. You and Imp.
Yeah, pretty much
from the start. Yeah.
And I can't wait to keep doing it, and like however long this train keeps rolling.
If people want to keep watching, we'll keep doing it. We've got lots of great show ideas and things to do, and now we've got the rotation of the music shows, the comedy shows, the movie shows. All
right, but thanks for having me on. I love you guys. I'll see you guys later.
Cheers, buddy.
Take care,
Good
to see you.
Love you, brother. So quite looking forward to Shogun. As I say, generally speaking, if someone said to me, what is your favorite novel of all time? Typically what comes to my mind is Shogun, James Clavell. I've read it. I don't know. I read it every year. It's such a good book.
Wow.
Yeah, such a good book.
They've already made a movie out of the my favorite book I've ever read.
Was it Twilight?
No. I'm more of a True Blood guy. Okay, I don't need the tweeners glittering in the daylight. No, thank you. No, The Hunt for Red October. That book right there is one of my favorite books ever, and the book I really want to see Tom Clancy make into a movie. And they'd have to do a miniseries, much like Shogun. If you've read it, it's called Red Storm Rising. He wanted to write a book about what World War III would look like with conventional weapons, and
I've
it's
read it.
A fantastic story, but
it is good.
Yeah, but I love Hunt for Red October, and I love the movie. They should never
speculative fiction. They would call
yes,
that book. Yeah.
Absolutely.
I do like that alternative looks at different futures.
You look at what started the war. It's scary. That could happen. That could happen. I can definitely see him doing that. I'm not going to give it away, but if you've never read that book, read it.
I've read it. Yeah.
World War III. It's kind of scary because you could see it happening. Definitely.
Yeah, I think it all started by some monkeys being strangled in Hartlepool.
That's a little. Exactly. There's a lot to be answered for there.
So that's Shogun. I did want to take a look at something else that's coming up soon. This is the Netflix adaptation of one of my other favorite novels of all time, the Three Body Problem.
Oh, okay. All right.
There must be 30 dead scientists in the past month.
Again, it's a bit dark, I'm afraid, because I've deliberately obscured it a bit for copyright purposes. Otherwise, we get locked the hell locked.
Right.
Has anyone else seen it? What happened to them?
Is that the guy from Doctor Strange? That's him.
It is, I think. Yeah.
Something is targeting scientists. They're going after our best and brightest.
Liam Cunningham.
There's someone behind everything. You just have to dig. Whatever it is, it's watching and listening.
We don't know what they are. Maybe we can't know what they are.
Do you believe in God?
Whoa.
You're right to be scared.
So it says based on the novels. So I'm wondering if it covers all three of the novels in the series.
Oh, if they're doing it the way a lot of these places are doing it now, they like, for instance, I heard that HBO Max is an adaptation of the Harry Potter novels. They're going to do one novel per season. I know they're doing that with Reacher right now.
Yeah.
So.
Because there are three novels in the series. The series is typically known by the name The Three Body Problem, but that's not actually the name of the series. It's Remembrance of Earth's Past. The Three Body Problem is the first book.
Okay.
So that
March 21st. All right.
Yeah. So that's something I'm certainly interested in now. I love the books. So just sorry, before we talk about that, Henry, yeah, Fahrenheit 451, one of my all-time favorites. I did a video in my science fiction novel series about that one. I love that book. So I'm a huge fan of the books of Three Body Problem and Remembrance of Earth Past series. And I've also watched the Chinese adaptation. It's a Chinese author. The Chinese adaptation, which covered the first book, The Three Body Problem, very faithfully and very accurately. Great show, a little slow in places because it was like 21 episodes, but brilliantly done. And I thought they did a great job of converting the book. Now this one looks very different. There's a lot of stuff I didn't recognize from the books. Not saying that's a bad thing though.
No.
So
Netflix adaptations, they're hit and miss. Sometimes they nail it, sometimes they totally blow it. I mean, you know, Resident Evil comes to mind for one they blew pretty bad.
Very bad.
But you know, from what I everybody raves about this One Piece adaptation they did. I started watching it. It looked fun, but
I enjoyed that.
I don't know anything about One Piece though. I'm not.
Yeah, I'm not a big anime or manga guy, and I enjoyed that immensely. That live action.
Yeah.
Sometimes they screw it up though. Now this one, it's the Game of Thrones guys, and they screwed that up in the end. But this is material that they've got to work with. They're not making anything up. They're not inventing an ending.
Right.
So some of the stuff they did up to that point in Game of Thrones was pretty good. So
I have a question too. Another question about. I'm trying to time so I don't throw you off. You guys are really into all of this, so I'm a bit of I see this from the side. When I see these previews, it makes me want to invest in a better television and better sound system, because I find you have to really listen for the dialogue these days. Is that deliberate, you think, for the filmmakers? You really have to listen to pay. They seem to they don't project a lot of times. And then the visuals are incredible. I need a better television for that.
Yeah. Well, I find that I have a sound bar with my television,
That's
and
what I was wondering.
I'll have to find what sometimes with some of these shows, you're right. The thing I hate is when the soundtrack, the special effects are super loud and the
Right.
voices are low. I hate that. It drives
It's
me
because of surround mixing.
Yeah, exactly. But they have settings that you could do. Like I put it on clear voice on mine, and what that does is it makes it all about the same level.
Yeah.
But yeah, you're right. Sometimes it makes it, some of these things especially when they're whispering or talking low, you can't tell what they're saying. A lot of people put on subtitles with some of these shows.
Oh, absolutely. We were watching one the other day. I think it was a Train Spotting, and Natalie couldn't. We needed the subtitles on that. Natalie could not understand the Scottish accents. But in general, my impression is, like I keep saying, I'm not a big movie buff. But the TV versions, well, the streaming, that's a better word, streaming like Netflix, they seem to be getting better and better. The production levels and values seem to be better and better. Like, there would have been a difference years ago between a TV show and a movie in a theater. It seems to be.
Absolutely.
So my view on the sound thing is I actually think that often nowadays the sound mixing is not done as well as I would like, that they bury voices in the mix. I think that's a trend that's been going on for a number of years. So the speech is buried, plus they have a lot of people speaking away from they're not face on talking to you a lot.
Yeah.
That's a modern thing, I think.
It is. I really wish somebody would take sound design away from Christopher Nolan. Every one of his damn movies.
He's the worst.
It's a barrage of sound, and you can't understand what anybody's saying.
Is it a plan to get everybody to spend more money on equipment, or is it
No. This is in a theater. I'm telling you.
You think it's artistic?
It was bad.
It's a trend.
Trend they do.
Now, I always have subtitles on now. Whether I'm watching something that's English or Korean or whatever, I always have the subtitles on because of my wife has hearing issues, and I find I'm used to it now, and I actually quite like it.
You're making me feel better because I thought, oh my God, I'm pretty healthy, but is it my hearing?
No,
or
a lot
is
of people do it. Yeah. I've got a son who's he's an Iraq War veteran. He's got some hearing issues, and he has the subtitles on all the time.
Yeah. But it's not. Yeah, it's actually so that was reassuring to hear that because I thought, I do need a better television. That's probably my next treat.
I think it does help to get a decent setup, whether it be a good sound bar or a surround sound system, and you can hear some brilliant stuff then.
Yeah.
But yeah, generally speaking, with just watching TV, I think sometimes the mixes are not good for just ordinary stereo anymore. But I put the subtitles on, but then again, I watch a lot of Korean, Japanese stuff.
He does watch a lot of foreign films. He does.
So you've trained yourself to be able to watch and read.
Yeah, I have. Yes, I'm kind of used to it now, and I kind of enjoy it. Especially when I mock the incorrect.
I love when they get it wrong.
Yeah, that's right.
There's a load of these things.
Real laughs. Dolby Atmos, as Vince says, is pretty good.
Dolby Atmos. Okay.
If you go to certain movies at the cinema, that sound is amazing, but sometimes it's too much. It's like, but Christopher Nolan,
my God, he's a brilliant filmmaker. Don't get me wrong, but man, take the sound keys away from him. Good Lord.
Yeah. So anyway, Three Body Problem. I'm looking forward to that. I'm wondering what changes they will have made to westernize it, given the Chinese. I liked the Chinese adaptation of the show, Tencent series. I liked the casting in it. I liked it stuck very closely to the novel. This one looks to me to be covering all three novels, and is
one of these because you just don't know what you're getting when Netflix.
I'm certainly going to watch it and review it because
absolutely.
Those books are three of my all-time favorites. I did a video about those two.
I love that Papa Cotton comment.
Watching movies with a group of loud, smelly strangers. It's like going to see a band play.
That's right.
It's completely overrated when you consider you have to smuggle in your munchies. You can't pause and you can't even smoke. I'll pass. See, that's why most of the movies I go to, I'm the only person in the cinema. So
I only go at morning matinees. I only go if I ever go to a theater. I go when the movie's been out a few weeks, and it's a morning matinee and there's nobody there because I don't like that crowd squeezing into a row. I never did.
Yeah, I hate that too.
See, I've got a different idea of the movie experience. If it's something like Dune when it comes out, I want to go the Thursday night at midnight when everybody that loves Dune is going to be there. You know what I mean? Because that is a fun experience when you're in a room full of like-minded individuals that love the material.
So
you only get that when you go the opening weekend. You know,
I get that. Yeah, I'm more antisocial. I am. I think I am. I like being with small groups of people, but I'm not. I get your point, though. Totally.
Oh yeah. Sure. Well, that's it's just a different mentality. I was a bartender for years, so yeah, I'm a people person. I love seeing people's reactions and all that stuff. Yeah.
Courtney, I'm not sure what you're talking about because everybody else has had the link in the DM. Okay, well, I'll send you it again.
It's in the
I really want you to get in here. So
in the X thread, young lady. It's in the
really want you to get in, but
you have to scroll down.
You have to go up
sometimes or up, whatever you say.
It was posted this morning, I think, or yesterday. But
yesterday,
and there was a bunch of chats after it.
At least a day ahead of time, man. You always.
But it is. Trust me, it's there.
Mm-hmm.
Anyway, Three Body Problem. Let's keep our eyes open for that one. I think while we're waiting for Courtney to figure it out, we'll show another classic montage from previous shows.
Courtney, I'll try and send you one.
I've sent it again, but
I know. Doesn't hurt.
If you could sort that out, that'd be great, mate. Yeah, because we want Courtney in here. So let's play another.
Before you get to that, I gotta take off. Actually.
All right, Imperatus.
All right, mate. Let me just. Yes. So thanks for being here, buddy.
Oh yeah, man.
Appreciate it very much.
Yeah, it's been a good 2 years.
It has, and let's look forward to the next 2.
And many more past 2, hopefully.
Yeah.
Like next 2 dozen would be good, but I can't count on it. Anyway, what are you up to in the next few days, mate?
Not sure because the storm we got coming here up the East Coast is gonna probably screw up my work week as per usual.
Yeah, you're getting a bunch of snow, bro.
So that's gonna have to depend on things. I have a feeling once the winter ends, I'll be able to start figuring things out a bit more regularly.
Indeed. Well, you'll always be regularly on here, I hope, which is good.
Oh yeah, absolutely.
Yeah, good to see you, buddy. Take care, brother.
Yeah, enjoy the rest of the show, guys. Granny, nice seeing you again, man.
Yep. Cheers.
All right, we have in replacement for him. Not that anyone could ever replace him.
Right.
Not intentionally. I wanted to at least say hello.
We have my brother, my internet brother, Darius.
Brother Munch.
Brother Munch.
Brother Muncher. That's illegal in some countries.
Right, Courtney. I sent you that link on X. It's in a private message to you.
So how are you, my friend?
Well, fine, I guess. My girlfriend's worried about me today because I'm too quiet, and that means something must be wrong because I'm so overly talkative.
Well,
I get that. I'm usually so rowdy. I get that. What's he up to?
Right.
Normally you're not quiet.
What's the
That's
matter?
True.
Yeah. Wait, you've been shutting up for over an hour. What's wrong? Does something matter?
But also joining us is another one of the stalwarts that founded this damn show. You and Courtney. Welcome, Courtney.
Hi. I can't see where I am because it's on the phone, but I'm in the car.
We can
You're
see
good.
you.
We see you.
You know what I was doing wrong?
What were you doing wrong?
X has this new thing down in like the bar where you type, and there's a hashtag, and I guess I hit the hashtag, so my whole chat switched to hashtag. I had to click it again to switch it off, and then I could see everything again.
Oh man! Wow.
Okay, you're just so hashtaggy. You just like to hashtag
I didn't
everything.
want the hashtag.
It's a hashtag.
So yes, Courtney, it's a pleasure to see you. I hope you're okay. Are you well? Are you okay?
I'm as well as I can be always.
Yeah.
Always
Well,
positive.
Thanks
Can
for
you
making
hear
it in.
Okay, though, this way, or should I switch it to
No, you look fine. You look
fine.
great. But thank you for 2 years. You've been here for 2 years, Darius. You've
I've
been
been
here for 2
here
years.
since the first, episode, I think, when you had like Cosmic. What was his name? Cosmic something on there, and you had D-Bud and you had Finity. I mean, not D-Bud. Mad. You had Mad
yeah,
Chismo.
Cosmic Fusion.
Cosmic
Yeah,
Fusion,
Cosmic
that's
Fusion,
right,
there's
yes.
Darius, there's Finity, there's me, it was Mad, Mardigan.
And you two have you've had the fortitude, the testicular fortitude to stick it out.
You just haven't noticed them.
To do. It is.
And you've contributed so much to what's become such a wonderful experience, and I do appreciate it very much. I love you both deeply.
Well, I've known you over 3 years now.
That's
'cause
right.
You were there for my first live stream.
We were, we were at the same time started watching stuff and chatting almost at exactly the same time. Yeah, so it was pretty
I feel
good.
like we all came into YouTube around the same time because I think I knew you all from Paulie's channel.
Yes, yeah,
Really?
Paulie.
Oh, there you go. It's a great
I
channel
got
to
I
meet
used to
people
get on
on.
and do
Let me tell
karaoke
you.
with him, and then he wouldn't let anyone do karaoke with him anymore.
So
But I did silent karaoke with him.
Yeah, but it's been such good fun hanging out with you guys. And in your honor, both of you, I'm going to play another one of the montages, which I love so much for the shows we've done in the past. This one is another one of my all-time favorites. This is the Motorhead one.
Don't forget us. Our name is Motorhead. We play rock and roll. I'm so back, baby, I don't care. For the Hun, we were food for the gun, and that's what you are. I love you and I slaughter you. Your downfall is my pain. Still you play the psychopath. We are the road crew. I'm right.
Lemmy.
And
Lemmy.
I know, Lemmy. Great. I know what they say about you shouldn't consume your own whatever, but I watch that montage regularly because I like it so much.
Wait, finish that. You shouldn't consume your own what?
I'm not a student of Lemmy and Motorhead, but I didn't know about that Quiet song about the First World War. That was interesting.
1916, yeah, it's a great track. I could only play a tiny bit of it because that was the one that caused copyright issues, but because they never did it live naturally because it was more keyboard stuff. But
it's Brian, great. You never cease to amaze me with all these things that you pull out of your hat.
That's what they all say. Yes. But yeah, the R.I.P.
Is that
Lemmy.
Gran?
Yeah.
It's Granny.
Oh, I
Courtney.
couldn't tell. Everything's so small on my phone. I'm going to be home in like.
My camera's not working.
Oh.
Yeah.
Well, I wouldn't be able to see you anyway, but I recognized your voice.
I hope you're not driving. The car's moving.
I am driving home.
You're driving and podcasting.
Or anything. You guys are just there.
But yeah, Nick.
I'll be home in a few minutes, and then I'll go on my computer.
Yeah, that's illegal in Michigan.
That's right.
Well, they don't know.
Streaming and drive.
Nick's dad was
They
in
know.
that
I mean,
video.
it's all on my. I'm doing it through my car console because I have a rental car. This isn't my car.
Oh, you got a Tesla, right? Okay.
It
drives
it's
itself.
A Nissan Murano is what I'm driving right now.
Well, you do realize though, now you're with us, we're going to have to play this clip. My favorite
love those moves.
My favorite rock and roll chick.
Lit.
Courtney.
And I'm here to give anybody dance lessons as well because my dancers are really
Yeah, good one. So, yeah, I love that clip. So we're going to play that one forever and ever, till your next
Henry
one.
says, "Fucking when did that happen? That wasn't years ago. That was this year, Papa Cotton.
That was recent. Yeah.
Oh.
That was recent.
Oh,
That was
nice.
this year."
Come on, Henry. We'll play it again. Courtney could probably share a version of it with you, but we'll play it. We'll be playing it in this show forever now.
Yeah.
But
Don't
yeah,
worry,
Nick
Henry,
Weiser-
the last
Do the
time.
whole
That's
performance
for
if you
sure.
want to see it.
So
That
we
was
did
just a
invite
short that I
Nick, but
made.
Nick's working, but Nick's dad Lemmy was in that last montage.
That's
but
right.
Nick has also been on the show a number of times. We have had such great guests in the past. We had Gary Neurotic once. We've had Razorfist, Comics Division,
More than
Culture
once.
Casino, more than once, yeah. Just such great guests, but it's the panel that make it. You guys, Joe, Courtney, Darius, Pope, John Das Wilson,
It's
who's
you
working.
that makes it.
It's you that makes it. We're just
You're
here for the ride.
You're
He
gonna
does
make-
all the work to make
The
his
fact
book
that you're not busting on stuff and you're talking about stuff you dig, that's what makes this.
Well,
different from most
I've always set out from the beginning to just make the channel about things I want. I'm not interested in watching or listening to stuff I'm not interested in, and I want to talk about things I love. And I think it's fun that way. So, don't get me wrong, I'm on other shows where we diss things.
Oh,
but
yeah.
that's not really my thing. I'm much more into what do we love and having some fun. 'Cause
Much
life,
more positive than a lot.
yeah, life
Yeah.
is could be pretty freaking horrible as it is. So let's just have some fun. And I think we've done pretty well with that.
Yeah.
You
Apparently,
should have
some
been
people
showing
like
you guys
watching
the
it.
mountains.
Yeah.
Sorry.
That's okay.
No,
You
it's
be
not that
careful.
I'm a streaming podcasting virgin, relatively speaking, and it's really opened my eyes to just the possibilities of this. Like you said, you can talk about what you want to talk about. Nobody can stop you in a way, apart from copyright things. You can express yourself. It's quite an amazing thing that's available to everybody.
Gran, when I used to do a weekly show, I used to freestyle rap as a joke. People
and
loved it.
it's a celebration.
anything.
Yeah, we can celebrate the stuff that we love, which in my case a lot of it's older stuff, so it kind of gets overlooked or might be getting. We've seen the reaction. Underlooked, but we see the reaction when we do things like movie streams about the canon films and stuff. We get a lot of great reaction. People want to talk about the stuff and they want to celebrate it, and I think that's the way to go.
And plus, we're turning younger people on to something that they may not know about. You know what I mean? So
that's right, and just
yeah.
about everybody's.
me.
Yeah, exactly, like you.
Well, I'm just saying that
No,
yeah.
that's a huge thing. I had an older friend in my life.
That's what
that
she said.
Was really into vintage, like just retro everything. And my mom always watched Turner Classic Movies, so I had that. Like I was lucky, but a lot of kids are not exposed to that, and they will not give it a chance because it's not in like HD.
Right.
Oh, yeah. I don't know why, because I grew up with Nick at Night, after 9 p.m., sometimes 8 p.m. On Nickelodeon. They would switch from the kids' stuff to classic television. Yeah, and it was great. So it's the only way with that, like, millennials got to see that as kids, like the Munsters and Bewitched,
Those
Lyle
are all
Lucy.
my favorite shows too. That's what's funny.
Right.
And
But
I
it
didn't
was
grow up with them.
It was cool. It was great television, but it's not like what was new on television. So it was a nice way to get exposed to that kind of thing.
Mm-hmm.
It's interesting you mentioned TV because one of the things I've been working on for a long time, and I actually prepared some clips today, although I won't play them all, is I've kind of been diving back into the shows that I watched as a kid. Now, Granny will know a lot of them. Kids shows in Britain in the 60s and 70s were trippy. Like really trippy. The Magic Roundabout.
Magic Roundabout.
Magic Roundabout and the Flower Pot Men. I mean, these were two flower pots, and in between there was Little Weed.
Weed.
This is a kids show. The Flower Pot Men, Little Weed.
Tell me they weren't grooming you back then, sir. Come on.
It was public television paid for by tax money.
I still watched PBS as of like not many years ago. That was like the last TV that I ever watched was public broadcast. I used to like the cooking shows and Antiques Roadshow.
Well, and we get a lot of old like BBC and British television on PBS.
Absolutely, man. We used to stay up late to watch Monty Python and Benny Hill.
Like this. This stuff was, honestly, you're on acid. You'd love this stuff.
That is so cool. I can hardly see it because I'm driving, but that's cool. It's creepy.
So that was the opening for the Magic Roundabout. They had a stoned rabbit called Brian, funnily enough. He was a hippie. they had a zebedee. He was on a spring, and he would spring in and out, and it was trippy stuff.
Mm-hmm.
You know, I mean, it was surreal. It's the kids, the clangers, the wombles, all these shows were just, and all the Camberwick Green stuff. Granny will remember all the models, the movement, stop motion model shows.
Yeah,
it was like everything was pushing the boundaries. Like not just the music, everybody was having to go doing things differently. It was a fantastic period.
Yeah, so that's stuff I want to do an entire show on someday. It might not be stuff that North American viewers will know, but the British shows were trippy as hell. The kids shows very different.
I want to say the trippiest show we watched here in the States was probably HR Puffin stuff. That was probably
and that was on in
my
Britain.
dad told me about that.
That was on in Britain too.
I was going to ask you if it was on in Britain because that was a trippy show. It really
and
was.
that's similar in tone to a lot of those shows that I loved. I loved the Thunderbird stuff as well. The Jerry
the
Anderson.
puppet.
Oh yeah.
This was my favorite show when I was about 5 years old. This one.
Oh yeah, we didn't have anything like that.
Yeah.
This is Joe 90, the opening theme to Joe 90. Trippy as hell.
Yeah, this is Team America before Team America right here. Yeah.
Listen to the funky music.
Yep.
Is that the Ludovico technique?
He's like a 12-year-old boy becomes a superhero when he's put into this machine.
Yeah.
And of course,
Or he can't commit crime anymore.
That's right. Trippy as hell, you know?
Yeah.
I love that stuff.
70s. I have a question. HR Puffin stuff. Didn't Sid and Marty Krofft do that, or was that not
Sid
that?
Marty Krofft did that.
Yes,
yeah, they did.
It was.
Well, that was
so
a
I
very
wanted to tell you
interesting.
guys, every Sunday, Sid Krofft is still doing. He does a stream on Instagram. He's 96.
Wow.
Nice. And I'm there. I watch it well, not every Sunday, but usually I try to watch it every Sunday. And he had like Corey Feldman on as his guest recently. It was awesome.
That's pretty cool at that age, isn't it? I mean, that's cool. Hey,
Yeah,
Papa Cotton
he
mentioned
does
the
not
banana.
look 96. You would never believe it.
Papa Cotton mentioned the banana splits. I love that show.
There's another
la,
one.
la, 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 la. And I saw the Dickies in concert once, and they had a big hit single with the cover of that.
Really?
You remember the Dickies, Courtney?
La, 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 la,
One banana,
la,
two
la,
banana,
la.
three banana, four.
Yep.
I love that. The banana splits. That was trippy too. I loved that stuff. It just they did make a Magic Roundabout movie, Henry
Really?
Gamble's, and it was brilliant. It's a brilliant movie. Now that was a French show, but they dubbed it into English. The French had some.
I did not
trippy
know
shit.
that. Did
Yeah,
not
the
know that.
French had some trippy shit in the 60s.
The French have always had a taste for the avant-garde too, and jazz, blues and jazz people would be accepted in Paris. They'd come over from the States where they were treated like dogs, and everybody's interested in everything. And then the experimentation is a huge interest in that in France.
I went to a big blues and jazz college for music, so I love that stuff.
The French were very heavily into jazz, and so were the Belgians. Belgian jazz, nice.
I looked up Magic Roundabout. I'm getting some from 2005. It looks like a CGI reboot.
I wouldn't bother with that.
Won't be as good as the real thing.
I saw the Magic Roundabout movie in the cinema.
Really?
Yes.
That's really sick about that, Brian, that you actually pay to go and see it. I mean, it's good on telly for free.
Oh, the movie, but no, the movie wasn't on TV till years later. You had to see it in the cinema. But they,
Remember, they didn't put everything on the TV within months of after it being in the theater back then. It was years before they put it on. Yeah.
Yeah. So one of the things I do want to do is a show about the children's TV that I loved as a kid, and there's such wonderful, weird shit. There was also shit like this. One last one of these. I could play these all day, but this is
Wonder Horse. I haven't heard this for 50 years.
Yeah, I'm into these themes. I've been collecting all these TV themes as well.
This was filmed just down the road from here, probably.
Yeah, that's where Kirk fought that.
Amy Valley.
Wow.
So,
that's old school, man.
I used to watch this as a kid.
Wonder Horse.
When I first heard it, I said, "Yeah, Champion's got to be either a dog or a horse. It's got to be one of the two."
And it does look like it was filmed at that Star Trek location that they
Yeah.
I have not heard that in 50 years. It came back instantly.
Yeah. So I've been going through finding a lot of these themes and downloading them, and I've got them all in my I played the
I'd
music.
watch that. I think let me know about that one. I think I'll definitely watch that.
I've downloaded the music, but yeah, that show you can certainly join in because you'll know what I'm talking about. In fact, I'm going to play one more of those, and then we'll start to head towards wrapping up. Unfortunately,
can you hear me?
Already?
Yeah, we hear you. We hear you. Courtney.
Yes, we can hear you.
Okay, because I have headphones in. I'm going into the house to get on the computer very quickly.
Right. This is a very short intro clip for a show I used to watch. Again, I think it was a French show dubbed into English. And I've got the full 6-minute music of this, and it's beautiful. This is The Adventures of Robinson Crusoe. This music is beautiful. So there's a great version of that by the Prague Philharmonic Orchestra. It's about 6 minutes long. It's a beautiful, beautiful music. That was a great show. I watched that as a kid too.
Well, it's great to introduce younger people to this stuff, man. I mean, it gives them ideas about things. I mean, one of the spots we do on my show, I've got a show like this that I do weekly on Wednesdays, and the young guy on the panel, he's just a little bit over 30 years old, Knock. We started doing this thing called the Knock List. And it's just all us older guys giving him a list.
I like that.
Well, I mean, it's from Mission Impossible. I even use Tom Cruise and hanging from the strings and everything. But yeah, all we do is we give him ideas for movies he may have never seen. Because he's 30 years old. And he gives his opinion. He gives his reviews of it like, a week or two later. And sometimes he likes what we give him, and sometimes he doesn't. You know what I'm saying? It's pretty cool. Yeah.
Yeah, it's a nice idea, mate. But I do so at some point this year, in the next couple of months, there'll be a show on my favorite children's TV shows from when I was growing up, and it'll be full of stuff like that. And other stuff like the cool stuff like the Avengers and the Persuaders and the Champions and all these great kind of like live action spy agent type things and all that. So a bit very British, really from a British perspective more than the US ones, which
right, of course.
So it'll be different. It'll be a little bit different. But some of the kids ones were just mental. Like the Flower Pot Men, I still can't how they got away with that.
Cotton weed, yeah.
Little weed in the Flower
Little
Pot
weed.
Men. It's like the we lost Courtney. There was
He's
the other
switching
one. There was the pirate show. What was it? Captain Pugwash, where they
Captain
had
Pugwash and Captain
Master
Pugwash.
Bates and Seaman Staines and stuff like that.
I have a paper comic that they did a kind of a version of that, a 70s alternative comic. And
Yes.
Captain, I think there's a rip-off of Captain Pugwash and his pervert pirates in that.
That's right. Yeah, yeah. That was so great stuff. Look forward to that one. There's definitely going to be a cult comedy crew coming up soon on the movie The Jerk.
Oh God, Steve Martin, one of my heroes.
Might even do that next week, and then the next Canon Film Club will probably be on Breaking 1 and 2, Electric Boogaloo, and all that.
I'll take a break from that one. Yeah,
and there'll be more music stuff. I do want to do a show on the drummer Cozy Powell, who Granny probably met a few times. But Cozy Powell
in the bars only. I never. Although I think I might have seen him play with Jeff Beck.
Yeah, so I want to do a show on him. And just stuff, as much stuff as we can do. I'm going to play one more montage before we go, and then we'll wrap up. Just if everyone will bear with me while I again dive into my own mystique.
It's okay, bro.
Oh, is it a
you
bear?
do a good job with those montages, dude.
Yeah,
I think
this is one from a recent show that I think is one of my favorites, and it certainly brings a lump to me. I get a lump.
We won't ask where.
Yeah.
Right.
Yeah.
Yes, we did, Vince. We did get it.
Feel afraid as long as they gaze up, watching the sunset, they are in paradise.
Yeah, very proud of that one. I was very proud.
Bravo.
I was very proud of
Good
that
stuff.
show. Dave Davies of the Kinks even liked my tweets about that show that we did about the Kinks. So,
It was so funny when Come Dancing came out.
yeah.
And they were like, "Yeah, play that new song by the Kinks, by that new band, the Kinks." I was like, "Man, that's not a new band. Are you kidding me? They're at the tail end of their stuff."
I was
when
a
they made
really
that.
big fan. I was a really big fan of the Kinks at the 60s when they came out. And you've actually rekindled my interest again, Brian. I dug out a live album I forgot I had.
Oh, not
from
the
80s.
the Glasgow one, or the one from the road, the double album. Yeah,
Yeah, I think, yeah. You've
So
rekindled my interest in it.
It's been an honor in my life. I once met Ray Davies and had a good chat with him in a bar, and got him to sign his autobiography that I had. And then Dave Davies has been liking some of my tweets, so I'm very honored.
There you go.
But yeah, thank you, Mark D with the C's in the chat. Hey, buddy. I mean, Mark's been on the show a few times, and he's always great to hang out with. Good friend. We had a picture of Ian Anderson on earlier, but not with a codpiece. Thanks for being here, Henry. Yeah, it's glad you're here too, mate. Shellback dropped by as well. Good to see you, Shell. It's always great streaming with Shellback. Wonderful guy, another brother of mine. Yeah, so I think we're going to wrap it up there, guys, and I got to go eat. It's been great to be surrounded by friends. That's all I can say.
Congratulations, Brian.
Thanks, buddy.
I have to go myself because it's tea time, 4:00 in my time zone.
For tea and crumpet.
I can hear the kettle calling for me.
Yeah. Canadian Spider-Man, another great friend of the channel. Courtney's come back just in time to say cheerio.
Cheerio.
I figured, well, I don't even need to take my coat off yet then because I have to go back.
So anybody want to plug anything before we go, as the actress said to the bishop?
No, like I always say, man, they can go to my channel and check it out for the nice stuff. You know,
Good.
I'm here to support you, and I'm very happy to have been around for most of the 2 years. Most of it, not all of it, but most of it.
You were here almost from the start as well, mate.
Almost,
You're a key component, and as I say, my brother, internet brother.
I'm with you, brother.
Love you, man.
He provides the atmosphere.
Yes, I
do. I've got more of these. I'm gonna have to eat even more. But yeah, thanks, Joe, buddy. It's always great to hang out with you. Granny, thanks for being here, brother.
Loved it.
Appreciate it, mate. Brother Munchausen, well known. Weren't you in the Name of the Rose?
I just remember a priest or a monk getting laid in that movie. That's all I remember.
It was Christian
It happened
Slater,
all the time.
Christian Slater, I think. Was it?
So often they had to make it illegal.
Christian Slater made a great medieval monk. Yeah.
Yes.
And of course, Sean Connery. Yes, I knew what you're up to, you naughty boy. Yes, absolutely. And Courtney, thank you from the heart of my bottom. Love you, lass. I hope you're okay. It's always great to have you here. Yes.
She's muted.
And she
I'm
says,
here.
and then she says to me,
Fuck you! That's my name.
Come, Mr. Bond. You enjoy the scallop just as much as I do. Please, eat.
I've got loads of these. But anyway,
I was
this is
teasing
one of my.
lost his shirt on. Oh, it's gonna look trippy on this thing.
Well, you do. It's time. I gotta play one more clip.
To be or not to be? Not to be.
That's right.
I love the Super Bowl commercial he did. I liked the accent.
Oh yeah, the State Farm commercials were good.
Yeah,
they
neighbor.
were.
So, anything you want to promote, Courtney?
Just me.
Just you.
Yeah.
You have our gratitude. I'm totally kidding. I haven't had any time to get my channel back up and rolling. So like I've been doing random, very like few and far between live streams. We talked about metal on one of them and stuff like that. But for now, it's just I'm with you every Monday and every Sunday night at it's 10 o'clock Eastern time. I'm on Sunday Night Geekery on Mark D with the C's channel.
Oh, no, Mark's a great
Yes.
guy. Great
Yeah.
guy.
And other than that, I'm just kind of everywhere, you know.
You're everywhere and nowhere, baby. Granny will get that.
That's where you're at.
Where you're at. And your hippie hat. That's Jeff
With your
Beck's
hippie hat. Yep.
My parents were hippies. I'm familiar.
So, yes, well, you do have my gratitude.
Get on with it. Yes, get on with it.
Get on with it.
Good advice. We're trying to. The endings of shows are always so long.
I did have good
God.
clips for you, but I don't know how to share them on
Well,
here.
we'll do them next time. I'll
Yeah, it's
figure that
fine
out.
because I have no clue on this.
So I just want to thank those who without whom this show would be just us talking to each other. That is everybody that's supported the channel, everyone that's been in the chat today, and everyone who watches the videos and the shows and replays. And thank you to the super chatters. Thank you to the mods. D-Bud, Davina, Lord Thoth, Canadian Spider-Man. Thank you to all the people who have chatted today. I appreciate it so much. It's like hanging out with you guys is the highlight of, with you guys in the panel and you guys in the chat is the highlight of the week.
I love streaming with you, and I love streaming with Mark D with the C. Like, and
Yes,
Coffee.
we
That's
have
like
fun.
you guys are awesome, and they're awesome. So there's a reason I'm always around. Can't get rid of
Indeed. And I'm quite around, but trying to get rid of it. Yeah.
It's still a stupid. It's such a fine line between stupid and clever. Yeah, it's just a little turnabout.
I love that.
Yeah. So on that happy note, once again, thank you everyone. Thanks for 2 great years. What's the flight path of a laden swallow? What,
Hopefully we have many, many more.
Oh, African or European?
Right?
Hopefully we'll have
What?
many more.
I don't know that.
Next week's
Right.
going to be at Cult Comedy Crew on the Jerk, but we'll see. Until then, though, I hope you all stay well, keep on rocking, and we will see you all next week. Peace. Peace.